Hi, my name is Anita Chauhan, and I'm a fractional CMO for early stage startups. I help a lot of companies build out their strategies or go to market. I come in, I build it from the ground up, typically with a lot of these early stage startups. I also help scale ups, but in a fractional capacity now. So I get to help many different companies as they grow, especially now when there's not a lot of money, let's say, for a whole CMO internally. So they hire me for like little bits of time. I think for the stage that I work with, they're typically they have funding or they have revenue. And so internally, first of all, they don't know where to start. A lot of these people might be builders and more tech focused people who know they have to do some marketing and typically get very overwhelmed with the amount of stuff they should be doing. So they would come to someone like me to really set the stage for that. And I help them walk before they run, so to speak. And I think some of the commonalities in a general sense for marketing in general for companies that are just starting off is that they don't know where to go, especially with the current changing tides with AI. So we're seeing a lot of shifts. There's a lot of questions around like, is SEO even worth it anymore? Performance marketing in early stages, actually not the best spend, especially if you don't have buckets of money to put towards it. So I do a lot of mentorship as well for early stage startups. And these are the things I also hear across them. So not only my clients, but one advisory clients as well. I see that a lot of them are just uncertain about what go to market means in their case and how to build that out over time. They're time strapped, resource strapped. They're working really hard to bring something to market. That means obviously so much to them. And a lot of these are Canadian startups as well. So it's understanding the shifting tides of the entire industry and the nation as a whole. I think it's tough. I think there's a lot of challenges, lots of regulation. It's lots of issues with risk. I don't think that people take a lot of chances. We see this a lot with the amount of VC spending and chances that are taken on different ideas. And I see a lot of people also just building startups just to sell it off because I think that's what is expected at this point. It's not that you're going to build something cool, you're solving problems. And I think the VC culture has actually responded to that. So we have these two things in tandem where it's like, it's hard to build here and it's de-incentivized in a way with how the structure is built from people that are giving the funding and also the government in general. I think that there's a lot of really obviously diverse groups of people that you're talking to, and that like at a base, if you're doing like a B2C, for sure, you have so many different people, different appetites, different spending. I think at this point, specifically with affordability issues, we have to take that into consideration. There's a lot to think about in terms of also, the expanse of our country, right? The differences across, province by province and the appetites. I think that's a really big thing to consider, especially if you're a marketer and if you're bringing a company to market as like a leader. But I think the amount of people that we have here and it's growing, we have to recognize there's so many cultural differences and how you market will change as time goes on. Also, as more geopolitical things happen, there's an opportunity here, though, for us to really step in and do right by our consumers as Canadian companies and marketing. I think offering, different cool things, maybe trying different avenues for marketing could be really great right now, and different channels and tactics that might have worked in the past, especially when we were very virtually, in my opinion, annexed by the US. How can we actually take this opportunity with, again, the shifting geopolitical tides to define who we are and really give Canadians something that Canadians want? Oh man, I am a brand marketer and I've always been a brand marketer. So I used to be told there were so many jobs I applied to and I'd hear no. And either we're looking for more demand gen, we're looking for a performance or a growth marketer. And I would just be like, you guys don't understand. Like, this is actually the crux of everything that you do. Brand is the biggest moat. So if you don't have this, you can throw buckets and buckets of money at Meta, go for it. But if you don't have a trustworthy brand, I'm sorry, you don't have the longevity and you're going to eventually learn that over time. So you're going to have to build it now or later. Start now, build trust. That's the number one way that you can actually have market share. I think that in a general sense, we struggle with a Canadian identity. And for the longest time, it was tech. And then also in response to US, like at least we're not them, right? But also gave us, and I'm going to maybe get lambasted for stuff like this, but it allowed us to have like a sense of mediocrity. So we never stood up and we never got further because of it. And I think if we can take this tech identity, which we've clung to, redefine and actually make it something that's uniquely Canadian, not just in response to America, not just saying like Silicon Valley of the North or AI of the North, like figuring out exactly who we are. And maybe it is through tech we can do this. I used to think that we were a group of builders. We were coming up with innovative solutions. We were coming up with some really cool technological hardware stuff in Canada. And it was exciting, right? But now I feel like it's just been co-opted by a situation of like building a company to a certain point just so you can sell it off. It's not about like fixing problems or being proud of building something that has longevity, right? And we all can't be Shopify, but it's one of those things where it's like, who else could we be? What could we build here if we had the right community, the right connections, and the right people around us? Tech for Canada is a really great idea. I think right now we need this more than ever. Like I mentioned earlier, we definitely have an opportunity to really define what it means to be a Canadian tech industry. In my opinion, for a long time, we rode off the coattails of what Silicon Valley was. We were this, tech valley of the North. We had all of these great things coming for us. But I think we've kind of slowed down since then. And there has been like a very big, deep divide between companies starting and also like what leaders are looking for when it comes to talent, but then also being able to source those people that can work with them and build those partnerships. So I think this is a great opportunity to bring people together. It felt really exciting when I heard about this event because I felt like I was craving it. And I see this happening in Toronto. We see it with Beta Kid. We see it with the town halls. We see that the tech community wants to reinvent itself. And I think Tech for Canada is a great example of that, coming together, bringing people together to form relationships in a thoughtful, well-programmed space. And I'm getting excited by it because I think it's an opportunity for us to feel proud about who we are. There's a really good opportunity here for us to redefine what it means to be Canadian, but also what the tech environment in Canada looks like. Not just like tech in Toronto, tech in Vancouver, tech in Ottawa, tech everywhere, Calgary. Like, how can we create a better brand and identity for the entire tech community?